Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Chio, and today we're going to talk about the music artist Joji and how he was originally Filthy Frank.
The truth.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Joji, which is also known as George Miller if you didn't know, and how he went from a huge comedic YouTuber back in the early 2010s to a popular music producer today. But let's start with the basics. So, George Miller, also known as Joji or Filthy Frank today, was born on September 18th, 1992, and grew up in Osaka, Japan until he was the age of 18, where he moved to New York. And he would eventually make comedic videos under the internet name Filthy Frank, where he would make sketches involving, like, teaching people how to say random things in Japanese, or he would be making videos about how to cook or even make songs. And he was also known for making pranks and then making messes, which apparently in the early 2010s appealed to a lot of the teen kids that just like to see weird and ridiculous stuff. And he was also known because he would wear a pink suit and go around screaming things or prank people in public, and would teach people how to say weird Japanese things, like random things that you would never know how to say in Japanese. And he knows Japanese considering, yeah, he grew up in Osaka, Japan, number one, and he was also half Australian, half Japanese. And as George Miller's channel started to grow, he also did do collaborations with other popular comedy YouTubers such as iDubbbz, Max Mofo, and even How to Basic. And Miller at the time was pretty content with his channel, and he would even sometimes start to make music for his videos, like the way that he is doing now, where instead of just making music for videos on his YouTube, now he's officially just a full-time producer and also a singer. And Miller would go on to rebrand his channel into a new sort of topic, which was him making music under the title name Joji, which in Japanese is a pronunciation for George. And pretty much his music became popular because of the fact that he never even told people that he was Joji. In fact, he kept it a secret, and he was found because people would just connect the dots of his passion of music as well as his styles. As well as he would eventually release that he was Filthy Frank after, I think, like a year of keeping it a secret. And people completely just enjoyed his music. Like, most of the time his music would either be really happy or really sad, considering he sort of evolved from this crazy, almost kind of immature guy that would make ridiculous videos that made no sense, and just made him look like he was sort of possessed or something like that because of the way he would act, and just turn into this emotional and sort of deep music artist. And the reason that he eventually quit Filthy Frank was because on December 16th, 2019, Joji's YouTube channel was created that had looked back on his original channel, which has 7 million subscribers today, and he announced that the reason he would be ending Filthy Frank was due to actual medical issues and just a loss for passion of it. Yeah, so surprisingly, he did have a medical issue that would cause him to get stress-induced headaches at times, and his YouTube channel was kind of adding on to that, considering all the craziness going on in the videos. And he decided to just take a break from that forever, and just decide to do what he had always dreamed of doing, which was to make his own music. And like I said, on December 16th, 2019, Joji's YouTube was created, and he never looked back on Filthy Frank TV. And Joji went on to grow rapidly, as most people loved his beats and singing. And some of his most popular releases today are songs like Gimme Love and Slow Dancing in the Dark. And to be honest, if you deny that you've ever heard a Joji song, you probably have heard one, you just don't know it. Like, for example, it's really popular on TikTok. and he also is just popular in general. Like, I'm sure everyone has heard Slow Dancing in the Dark, which I'll play for a segment for you right now. And if you've ever used TikTok, it's used extremely a lot. So I'll play it for you in a second. And Joji became more of an almost poetic music artist rather than someone who created crazy and ridiculous content back in the day. And according to Joji in an interview with Billboard, the popular music company, he talked about why he ended Filthy Frank, and in the interview he said, "So naturally I got older," and sorry, I just lost my train of thought right there. So he said, "So naturally as I got older, I got tired of that humor. People's music change. People's humor change." And Joji is still making music that's popular today, with another one where he's going to create an album called Nectar. And he's so popular that he was even able to perform at sold-out shows, like a music event in Los Angeles at a huge concert that was for the company 88 Rising in Los Angeles, where the entire crowd started singing along with him. And he also is pretty popular due to his extremely odd music videos, where most of his music videos have just random things that you'd never expect. Like in one of his songs he has called Sanctuary, he has two aliens playing ping pong on what seems to be the Death Star while he's also on it. And in his most popular song, Slow Dancing in the Dark, he has goat legs, and he gets shot with an arrow, and he's singing through it, and I don't understand why, but it's interesting. And just overall, I think this is a great showing that Joji changed from how he went from a crazy comedian to an emotional songwriter who just had a ton of emotion and went very deep. And personally, and honestly, I don't listen to a lot of, music from this type of genre, but I honestly think that Joji is a really good artist. Like, I'll listen to his music even though I don't listen to a lot of music from that type, because I just think he's really good at what he does, and the music is good. And Joji sort of just grew, and I can't really judge him for doing what he wanted to love. Even though Filthy Frank was probably the biggest thing he ever wanted, he threw it away for what he had a passion for and what he dreamed of, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it may have made a few fans sad, but overall, it's just, if he wanted to fulfill his dream, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And it showed that just sort of Joji is a new version of him, and Filthy Frank is kind of dead. Like, he killed Filthy Frank and completely went to transferring all the way to Joji, as he just wanted to do that for a living. And anyways, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing and hitting the like button, and as always, stay awesome, stay quarantined.